Well, are y'all ready for a remelt? Oh man, got I think a really great assortment. Okay, that might be the coolest thing I have ever seen. That is what you think it is. So I'm a total fragrance geek, and one of my good friends in the bait making community, Brad Hardy over at Oracle Lures, he's a fragrance freak as well. So we always are texting each other, hey man, what's your fragrance of the day? So for this video, I always like to smell good, even if I'm outside. You know what? We're gonna go with a golden oldie. Yeah. Versace the Dreamer. This was formulated back in the 90s. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. Yeah, the swim baits are really starting to pile up here. Got quite a few, even some down there by the bananas, waiting on my shipping labels. Alright, Bass Pro Shops, Tallahassee's most exciting outdoorsman retail experience. We're gonna roll up in here and go grab a bunch of baits. And today, I think I want some gambler lures. I think we're gonna smoke some gambler lures and maybe a couple of other things. But I haven't done one of these videos in a while. I think the last time I just remelted a bunch of store-bought stuff was all Googan baits. We're not going Googan today. We're gonna show you some other stuff and see how it fares. I'm really happy with the colors that I've chose and found. I've got, I think, a really great assortment of baits that I personally found to be not only excellent colors, but also great baits. I've caught a lot of bass on the burner worm. I've caught a lot of bass on these fat culprits. Golly, yeah. So I've even caught some, yeah, on the burner craws, mainly bed fishing, possibly on a swim jig as well. It really matters not. I'm super happy with today's selection. Let's take a look at what we've got. All right, so things are a little bit more organized here. So I have 2 bags of these 7-inch burner worms in Copperfield. Copperfield's a really cool color. I've done a few color matches on that. This one, though, is, I think, the star of the day, star of the show. This color right here, Gold Rush. I'm actually going to save one of these so that I can color match it in a few of my own molds here. Look at this. It's basically like a green pumpkin gold flake laminated with June bug. And to me, that's lovely. So anyway, I'm gonna set one of those aside and save it. I have the big fat culprit worms here, and they're crawdad color. I'm interested to see what that one looks like melted down. Missile baits, something I really have no actual fishing experience with. But this color right here is like a blue crawl, a copper chopper. So it's sort of like a blue highlight laminated with green pumpkin. Nothing too new there, but this one is going to be super fun. Bass Pro Shops sells like these big mega bags of stickworms, and that is a triple swirl sweet potato pie. We're going to see what that looks melted down into a solid color. So let's get going. All right, let's take a look at these. There's so many of them in there, I probably don't need to use them all. Yeah, super cool. If you want to see how to do something like this, I did a triple swirl video where I did sweet potato pie just a few months ago. So if you're interested in knowing how to do something like this at home, I do have a video just for you. So anyway, we're going to snip these. Ooh, nice little dent there. See that? Even the machines aren't perfect. What a shame. All right, we're about to smoke these too. All right, I believe that is thumbnail right there. All these pretty packages and all the chopped up baits awaiting the microwave. All right, we're gonna start with that Gold Rush color because that is freaking cool. In the microwave, we'll give it minute 45. Just to be safe, we don't want to scorch the plastic. I have to say, I am impressed. Not only does the color look really good, look at that plastic. Virtually bubbleless. I mean, that melted down about as good as it can, and the color is actually quite nice. Let me show it to you on the knife here. Yeah. And it's quite nice. All right, here we go. Gambler Lures Gold Rush. All right, Gambler Gold Rush, Meltdown, here we go. Drum roll, please. This is a 4-inch grub. Oh yeah, baby, look at those. That's looking pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie, this color is absolutely fire. Alright, so if you have some green pumpkin and June bug laminates laying around and you don't want them, remelt them. Look at that. It's absolute fire. Oh. I mean, I love it when this works out well. Now, what I don't think is going to work out well is that. How in the world is that going to melt down to look good? Maybe it will, but I doubt it. And you know what? We'll drum roll the second one just because y'all probably know what worm this is. Here we go. Okay. Action time. Yes. Action worms. This is like the hottest little drop shot worm out there now. As it should be. This thing is absolutely a stunner. And it does not look bad in that color. See if I can get it arranged a little bit better. We'll take one close-up look here. Yeah, imagine that. Yeah, in the tail section you can kind of see the full color of it. Alright, that one's 100% a winner. Next up, Missile Baits Copper Chopper. You're getting smoked. Here we go. 2 minutes in the microwave. We'll meet you right back. Okay, the Missile Baits did quite good. Getting a little bit of bubbles, but it's a nice kind of blue crawl. So anytime you put basically a green pumpkin or a watermelon together with blue flake, you get what I like to call blue crawl. There's not a whole lot of blue highlight in it though, because it was only blue highlight on one side of the laminate. So normally you'd see a little bit more blue highlight, but it still looks pretty good. Okay, so you can kind of see the blue highlight in there. We're actually going to alter this one because we have what is essentially this kind of pigment. This is watermelon with blue highlight. So we're just going to add a little bit of it in there, and you should see some more blue highlight come out of this. Now highlight's a little hard to get on camera. Yeah, you should, yeah, there it is. You can automatically see a little bit more blue highlight in there. Alright, let's check them out. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that was one of those that I kind of knew what they were going to do. And they turned out really good. Copper Chopper, I think this is what this was, right? Turns into blue crawl. And a sexy blue crawl. That is an absolute fish catcher right there. So now we're going to move on to those sweet potato pies. I don't think that one's going to look anywhere as good as this. We might be surprised. Now the question is, what bait, what mold do we want to turn them into? Yeah, that is what you think it is. Wow. I guess a frog had crawled down the opening of the mold and was hanging out in. I didn't open the mold before I used it, and he just got cooked with plastic. Oh my God. Like, the plastic had to go around that. Like, look at this. Well, that's interesting. You know, I have had spiders crawl out of molds that had been sitting for like several months. But yeah, boy, that's a first for me. I have never, ever seen anything like that happen. Yeah, I feel bad for the little guy. That was completely unintentional. I don't know. check your molds for living creatures. Okay, that is the sweet potato pie, and it's actually not a bad shade of brown. That's more like a Carolina pumpkin. I was thinking it was going to be a little bit darker from all of the black, but this is actually workable. However, we are going to enhance it with some flake, and a lot of flake. So, we're going to start with some little gold. Alright. 0.015 gold. Load it up with that. Then we're going to load it up with some similar size blue, or the same size blue. 0.015 blue. Do some of that, maybe not quite as much. And then we're going to add some medium-sized black. Okay. Here we go. And now, just like that, we got us a real color built. So let's stir it in. Yeah. And now we almost have like a cinnamon, you know, so like I would call this a cinnamon something or other. All right, just like that. All right, here we go. We're gonna turn these sweet potato pie stickworms into more stickworms. Might be all we're gonna get there. I could probably remelt the rest and get a few more, but I don't think we have the volume to fill. Yeah, that would have been close. But we'll stop there and at least see if these look good. Alright, I figured since we didn't have enough for 3 injection molds, then I could do some hand pouring. So we'll do a few of these Angling AI Mojo worms here. Might be fun. Yeah, I mean, gotta throw in a little bit of hand pouring there, right? Yeah, check this out, y'all. Those actually look really good. Let's play with them. Look at that. That is really nice, actually. Yeah, can't complain there. It's so weird that was sweet potato pie 4 minutes ago. Let's get one of these open pours out too. Yeah. Very cool. Get another one out. They're already set up pretty good, so. There it is, sweet potato pie reimagined. Copperfield Gambler burner worms are next to be smoked. Here we go. Yeah, so the Gambler Copperfield turned out quite nice. Had to run it through the vac, but a really nice sort of watermelon red gold almost. So we're gonna try to run a few jerk baits in it, and we'll meet you right back. Yeah, I tell you, I knew the jerk baits were gonna look good in that. Yeah. Let's get out the other ones down here. Beautiful. Sweet. Yeah, back in high school, I could have never even counted the amount of bass I caught on a watermelon red fluke from Zoom, and this would be a lot like that. So maybe I should go throw some more of those. Yeah, gonna keep those. Okay, and last one today are these culprit fat worms. Yeah, I have no idea what this is gonna look like. There's a lot of pearl in it. So I think it actually will look pretty cool still. So we'll meet you back in 2 minutes, and we will see this transform into something else. Okay, that might be the coolest thing I have ever seen in my shop. It's not fully mixed yet, sort of. Yeah, so there's what it's really gonna look like. But man, wow, it was like half mixed. I mean, that was seriously awesome. Yeah, you can see it still looks pretty wicked. So we're gonna go from big culprit worms to big world's worst fishing worms. Here we go. Alright, culprit thought their worm was big. Nah. Here's a 13-inch monster. Boom. Angling AI mold here. Yeah. Very cool, very cool. Now we'll show you what the other ones are. Alright, now these are 9-inch ribbon tails. This is an old bass tackle mold. So basically this color just kind of turned into a copper pearl, which I guess I should have figured it was going to. I thought the black was going to be like more of a thing, but as you can see, that pearl has just completely overtaken it. You would never know that there was even black pigment in this. But yeah, not a bad looking worm. Now we're going to move on to the final round. We're going to take 2 of these that we've already done and see if we can create a good laminate color using nothing but our remelts. Okay, bonus round. We have the Copperfield from Gambler, and then which one was this? One second. That was Gold Rush. Okay, so Gold Rush and Copperfield. So actually 2 Gambler colors here, and we're gonna laminate these and see what happens. All right, here we go. We'll at least get a few molds here. Alright, are y'all ready to see how these laminates did? I know I am. I think they're gonna look really cool. Now there wasn't a whole lot of contrast in the 2 colors. So, you know, if I was making this myself, I definitely would have done things a little different in the color building, but ooh, that's really good. Maybe I would not have wanted to do anything different in the color building. Yeah, check that out. Brighten this up and it's almost like a summer crawl. Wow, that's actually like really natural. Got a good laminate down the center. You know what? Let's grab the other ones out as well so that we can just get the full picture. Man, everything today was a really good success. Like nothing sucked. Oops. Yeah, I mean, well, we'll just go ahead and tear them all off. Nothing sucked, you guys. And that's always a good day in the shop when nothing just sucked. Look at that. It's not my favorite laminate I've ever done. It's really good though. I think if I was going to do this, I would definitely brighten up the green side just to have a little bit more contrast. I really like that top side. That first color was really good, the one that we got from the Gold Rush. So yeah, look at that. Some just meltdown laminates, just putting 2 random colors off the shelves at Bass Pro Shops, putting them together in the same mold. This is the Angling AI Stinger, and yeah, we're gonna end it on that. Okay, not a bad spread. Pretty much all natural colors, like really kind of mellow natural colors, nothing too just bright and over the top, kind of with the exception of those. I will say my favorites, the grubs from the first color. Just look at how well that color comes through in that tail section. That gold rush, meltdown, and the grub takes the cake for me. I actually really do like the laminates that we just did, and those punch bugs are really good. So everything else is good, but those were my favorites. So as always, please comment down below which ones were your favorites, and I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Alright everybody, thank you for tuning in. This is our first video of 2021. We have some super exciting things coming for 2021. You all know I got some stuff planned for you. And of course, we're going to take each and every one of you along, and I hope none of y'all will miss a single minute of it. We're working on some projects with some signature series, World's Worst Fishing signature series products for the bait community. We're going to be traveling, doing a couple things out of state, out of the shop. So some fun things hopefully coming soon. I know a few of them are definitely coming soon. A couple things are up in the air with just COVID. That's the way the world is right now. Hopefully we can wean our way out of that mess. But anyways, Happy New Year again, everyone. I think I said that around Christmas time in some of my videos. But hope y'all will stay with us through the new year. Exciting things coming. Thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. So a little extra footage here. I don't usually have kind of this many swim baits backed up, and especially not this diverse. So I kind of wanted to show you guys just real quick, kind of at the end of this video, I guess sort of like where I'm at with my hand pouring. I do, I practice a lot, and I put a lot of emphasis and focus on this kind of stuff. So we'll start over here real fast. Yeah. Sort of a orange and pink belly bluegill there. Lots of natural tones. There's some gray silver pearl in one of the layers there, and then we have our black striping. We have some splotching, and I was really happy with the color placement on those. And that is a Jetson rainbow trout eye. This one I'm really proud of here. I built this color just to match the eye. That's a Jetson crappie eye right there, and you can see it has, you know, some black splotching in it. It has that kind of chartreuse look and some silver, and so I basically just kind of mimicked that with this bait. And yeah, really happy with that one. You know, these are all really time consuming, very you know, in-depth type of pours. And then this one right here, I kind of wanted to make it look sort of like a Monet painting with just lots of colors, like his water lilies, and it kind of came out more looking like a bag of Skittles. I posted this one on Instagram. That's a chick green Jetson eye there. More on the side of a little bit more practical. Y'all have seen this one before. This is green color shift shad. This is probably still my best selling color. Over here we have what I call Chartreuse Shad. And if you watched my video last month in December, or yeah, in December, where we were throwing Alabama rigs, I was throwing the 4-inch version of that. Speaking of 4-inchers, just real fast, have a little baby bass here with a little red eye. I have Chartreuse Shad in the 4-incher, and then I have a purple kind of gizzard shad. So yeah, lots of cool things, lots of diversity here, and yeah, I'm sure the people who bought these are wondering where the heck they are. Unfortunately, they're still right here, but they are in the mail soon.